Hi there, and today I've got a couple of tips on how to get a cheap Chrome Gold C-3PO. So first, a tiny little bit of background. In case you didn't know, the Chrome Gold C-3PO came out in 2007. It was because it was the 30th anniversary of the first Star Wars film, A New Hope, which came out in 1977. And there were only 10,000 of them made. And these 10,000 Chrome Gold 3POs were placed in random Star Wars sets, so that apparently you were 1 in 250 chance, if you bought a Star Wars set that year, of getting a Chrome Gold C-3PO. So you couldn't purchase them at the time. They were just completely randomly placed in Lego sets. Today they're going new between £700 and £800 each, which is not the sort of money I spend on a minifigure, even though minifigures is the main thing I collect. This one is an incredibly good fake. In case you don't know how to spot fake Lego from real Lego, minifigures have Lego printed on the top stud of their torso like that. They also have Lego printed in, if you can just see there, between the two studs of the legs. So this is a real C-3PO. He's the one with the red arm that came in a polybag a few years ago, and this is just a regular C-3PO we get now in our sets. And again, he will have Lego on his torso stud and between his legs there. But if we try and do the same with the Chrome Gold one, we will notice that when we take his head off, which is very difficult to do, absolutely nothing on there, and also pop that back on, nothing between the legs, so we know he's not a genuine 1 in 10,000 minifigure. So if you're not a Lego purist, this is your first way to get a cheap Chrome Gold C-3PO. Buy a fake one on eBay. They only cost a couple of quid, like I did. This one doesn't sit in my collection. It actually lives in this clear plastic bag with the big word fake written on it, so I know obviously it's not a real one. But this is where my second option comes in. Recently I found something else on eBay. This is a Star Wars pen. So I found this on eBay recently, and it's a pen still in its packaging, and it's got a Chrome Gold C-3PO on it. It was part of a series. There's a whole series of these pens with different figures in the middle. As far as I can work out, they came out about 10 years ago, 2010, 2011, something like that. I haven't been able to find an exact year, and there's no copyright date on the back of it. But as you can see on the back, it says, "The only pen that you can connect and build." There you go. Changing pen beads is easy as 1, 2, 3. So basically, apparently you slide them off and you can swap the beads, as they call them, around. One of those is C-3PO himself, and then how to extend and retract the pen tip. So it's just a regular ballpoint pen. So I'm going to open this up and see what he's like. The only thing I can spot so far is that his legs don't seem to be regular legs. You can see there's no gap between them, so they are joined together somehow. But we're going to open this up and see what it looks like. Now I want to keep the packaging as intact as possible, so I'm going to use a knife to cut this bit of tape at the back, and hopefully once that plastic flap will open. I'm not quite sure what we then do, because that is all one piece. So I'm either going to have to cut the plastic or cut the cardboard. So I think best bet if I do 2 tiny little slits in the plastic. I think that's going to be my best bet to keep it as intact as possible. Cut that down to there. And if I do the same on the other side. Ooh, tricky. Try not to slice my finger off in the process. There we go. And then I'm hoping that this tray, yes, look at that, will slide out. Okay, so we have got our pen. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And these 2 extra beads, as I call them, with a bit of tape across them. Let's take those out and see what they are. Wow. 10-year-old sellotape is very sticky still. There we go, put those to one side, get rid of the knife. So what have we got here? That looks like a minifig head, but that is far bigger than a regular minifig head. It's the right shape. So as you can see, that is definitely a lot bigger than a minifig head. So there's a regular minifig head on one side, and this is a lot larger, but it's the same shape. So the other bead is this chrome gold cube with a picture of C-3PO on each side. Difficult to catch it in this light. My lights aren't set up for shiny chrome things, but you can just about see his face there on each side. So there's a little cube, and I'm wondering, I presume these click together. Yes, they do. So they go in together that way up and that way up. So there you go, there's our spare beads, as they call them. And then here is our pen. So it said it was easy as 1, 2, 3 by unscrewing the top. Oh yes, you can feel it getting looser. So you keep unscrewing that, and what's going to happen? Aha! There's a so that bit's come off. That's our pen with our retractable biro inside, and that's just got a threaded hole in it, because this, you can see at the bottom there's a metal pin sticking out, and there's a metal bar going right through the middle of all this. So if we can take these bits off one by one, there's like a red plate. Oh, and there's our legs. Ooh. Yeah, torso. Oh, there you go. And do they come apart? No, they're stuck together, it seems. So start at this end. What have we got? Oh, a little, like a C-3PO logo we've got there on this round bead with this nice chrome gold piece with sort of I presume it looks sort of like a sphere, but with bits cut out, gold plates maybe. There's that piece. There's this top piece, which is just the pen cap with a metal bar, which is threaded at this end, obviously, to link up with this one, so you can screw those back together. And then mix and match the ones in between. Boring one first. There you go, just a red plate with a hole in it. But here we have our chrome gold C-3PO, and that is pretty good. That looks like our regular 3PO printing. Let's compare it with our pearl gold one. So this is obviously the new print. That was the old print, wasn't it? And then let's compare it with our fake Chrome Gold C-3PO, which again obviously has the new style pattern on, and this is what C-3PO looked like in 2007. So the other thing is he's obviously got this large lump on top of his head. You can see those heads not quite the same. Let's see if I can get his head off. Does it off? Oh yes. Ah, so it doesn't have a peg like a regular torso. It's just got a stud effectively on the top. And then here's our head. Let's compare it with a regular 3PO head. If you pull that one off him, and you can see that's quite a lot taller. If I put those on a plate, it should be easier to see. There we go. So size-wise, maybe the chrome one's slightly smaller, but it does have this large peg sticking out the top of his head, and obviously no yellow eyes. So there's his head. Torso, let's compare that with a regular torso. Size-wise again, they're exactly the same. He doesn't have chrome gold hands. The genuine one does have chrome gold hands, so these are pearl gold there. And then looking at the legs, that hand's a bit loose on that one. So size-wise they're the same, but they don't have the two studs on top that regular legs have. It just has this rectangular shape, and they're not articulated because it's only one leg, one giant foot instead of two. So let's put him back together. And there we have a genuine Lego Chrome Gold C-3PO, but not one of the 10,000 that was limited in 2007. So there we have my new Chrome Gold C-3PO going into my collection. Things I've noticed is that he wobbles lots. He doesn't like sticking. These will all stick to a studded base. He doesn't. He's not actually going to stick to anything. He wobbles around all over the place. Also, I can lean these back quite happily. And obviously, he doesn't articulate at all. There's no bending going on in his middle because his legs aren't real legs. His arms have got the normal articulation in them, so they're good. Oops, see, that hand is really loose. Let's put that one back in. Oh, that's better. That's stuck in better. So his arms will articulate up and down, but not his legs. The only other thing I've thought is that I also have a bag of these. Now these are Chrome Gold Minifigure key rings, which you can buy in Lego shops, and I think these all came from Legoland Windsor. So these have regular tan hands. They don't have gold hands. I was thinking if they had gold hands I would have been able to swipe them and replace them on my my actual Chrome Gold C-3PO. But also, I know that minifigures that are connected to magnets can be loosened with hot water. So I'm going to try and have a go at taking one of these apart, see if I can swap his legs out and put them on C-3PO. So I tried a technique I used before where you heat water up to just over 70 degrees. You mustn't go it up too close to 80 because the plastic starts to melt, but in the 70s is all right. And you leave the minifigure soaking for sort of 5 or 10 minutes, and that generally loosens whatever they've stuck it together with. I believe they don't actually use glue. What they do, they use a solvent to stick the minifigures together or stick them to magnets, and this is what I've done before to release Star Wars minifigures from magnets. However, this didn't work. I also heated up the pin on the top of the minifigure to pull the pin out, see if that would loosen anything, but the legs were not coming off at all. So this is as much as I could do. There's the pin that I pulled out of the top of his head, which leaves a bit of a hole down the middle. You can see straight through there. It also ends up having a hole through the neck stud there. His arms will obviously come off. You can see where they chromed it. Actually, interestingly, the arms were facing backwards like that, so that part never got chromed underneath there. But try as I might, I cannot get these legs off. I'm going to do some research on the internet, see if anyone else has managed to take glued keyrings apart before. But the technique I've used before to release them didn't work on this one, so I've no idea how those legs are stuck on. I managed to take his two legs off the hips, but that doesn't help me. I still need the hips to go on C-3PO. So that was a tried but failed attempt to get some articulated legs on C-3PO. So as it is, get those bits out of the way. This is how he's going to go into my collection amongst my other C-3POs. There you go. Did this help you? Are you going to try and track one of these down on eBay, see if there are any others and get one yourself? Or are you not a purist and you're happy to buy a fake one? Or are you one of the rare 10,000 people who actually owns a Chrome Gold C-3PO? Do let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and of course subscribe for more LEGO videos.